for the 1960s, and the third place motor car in this category, in the 1960s category, is the 1962 Ferrari 250 GT short wheelbase Berlinetta Speciale Aerodinamica by Pininfarina, presented by Bill Heineke, who's not in the car, but presented by Bill, great friend of this event. The Ferrari 250 GT short wheelbase features the evergreen V12 3-litre motor. About 167 short wheelbases were built. Some were pure competition cars, some were steel cars used for road, fast road driving, and some competition. We've got a variety of them here this year, but this particular car was styled by Pininfarina. It's a complete one-off, reminiscent of the 400 Superamerica Coupe Aerodinamica, but it's so stylish and presents beautifully in this delightful and elegant, sexy colour of nocciola. Thank you so much, many congratulations. Send our regards to Bill. That would have been a very, very expensive motor car in 1962, that's for sure. Okay, the second place car, it's a car we've not actually had the opportunity to see here so far today, so we'll give it a little bit of time. It's the second place car, and you can switch off, Emanuele, if that's okay. It's the 1961 Ferrari 250 GT short wheelbase Competizione SEFAC hot rod by Pininfarina. It comes from a private collection. In case you're wondering, SEFAC was stood for Società Esercito Fabbriche Automobili e Corsa, so a racing team basically. It has a nicer chassis, more powerful motors, 6 Weber carburetors, magnesium car. But the part of the history here, it was initially sold to Andre Simon, a former Scuderia Ferrari driver, and it was immediately put to the test in competitive racing, participated in the 1961 Tour de France, 1,000 kilometers of Paris, and also the 1962 Targa Florio. And we do just lend a round of applause. We have a special guest in the car. I'd just like to pass the word over perhaps to Emanuele. Would you mind introducing your guest? Because I'm not sure you speak English, sir, or you do? Only French, he says in English. Okay.
I'm not sure I speak English either. This gentleman is the son of the first owner, and he's seen the car today for the first time in 60 exact years. And when he was 14, he drove the car, and he's helped his father preparing the car for the Tour de France in 1962 when this car was overall.
If you'd like to say just a couple of words in French, I'm sure she'll learn. Thank you so much for being with us. I'm sure you'll have many more stories to tell everybody. Perhaps at some point Simon and Emanuele will translate them and write a book about them, I'm sure, or do a video. I'm sure that's very likely to be the case. Thank you so much for bringing this very, very important Ferrari, and the gentleman in it has played a huge role in its history. That's so special to see that car reunited with it after so many years, and a gentleman that has played a great, great role in the history, bringing it to where it is today. So I just need to find out where we are, and I can see which car we have, and it's the winner, ladies and gentlemen, in the 1960s decade category. It's the 1960 Aston Martin DB4 GT Zagato. Carrozzeria Zagato's philosophy was essential beauty. And if that was the case, then the DB4 GT Zagato embodies it absolutely perfectly. Only 19 of these cars were built. It was based on a DB4, but on a shortened chassis. But the thing about the DB4 GT, not only are they rare, there were only 19 of them built of the first series, or the original series, but it's the shape of this car that I think really tells you everything. It's not at all trying to hide its purpose. Muscular rear haunches, scoops in the bonnet. It's just elegant and power in aluminium. I think it's got the wonderful Zagato lightweight seats, which are quite typical of these motor cars. Beautifully restored. All of these cars vary very slightly. They're not all identical, showing its true hand-built nature. I think we'll all agree, ladies and gentlemen, the selection committee, led chaired by Richard Charlesworth, who's disappeared to do something very important, and Flavien and Vanessa Marseille, as well as the organisers, I think have put together one of the finest selections of Concours entrants this year than we've ever seen. Each car is just so beautiful, fantastic history, and for me, this is definitely one of the most beautiful cars ever built. And there you are, ladies and gentlemen, leaving the stage is the winner in the 1960s category. That is the 1960 Aston Martin DB4 GT Zagato. Congratulations. I think for everybody here, it's really fun to see these cars by decade, just to see the evolution of the motor car. Do you want to hold back on that, James, or? No, we're ready to go on. It's okay. I just think, have a look, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you, James. At the evolution of the motor car. We've looked at some very early cars. Now we move to the 1970s, and we start here with this 1973 Porsche 911 Turbo prototype presented by the Confidential Cars Collection. And surely the 911 Turbo is one of the most revered, enduring and loved popular sports cars of the 20th and 21st century. And this particular car was displayed and debuted at the 1973 IAA Frankfurt Motor Show. It was displayed at various events all over the world, including Paris, Tokyo and Melbourne. And it's a very, very significant piece of Porsche history. Thank you very much, many congratulations, and that's the third place car in the 1970s category, the 1973 Porsche 911 Turbo prototype. And again, looking at the styling changes, just think about the DB4 GT Zagato from Aston Martin. Now we have Ferrari. The wedge-shaped design was really coming into its own in the early 70s, although this car was born in the late 1960s. This is the second place car. It's a 1971 Ferrari 365 GTB Ford Daytona 5 presented by Dr. Cici Muldoon, although I believe she's not driving the car today. But we have somebody else. So congratulations, delighted to see this here. And the official name for this car is the 365 GTB Gran Turismo Berlinetta 4-cam. The 4 stands for 4-cam, but it got the Daytona name from after Ferrari's 1-2-3 finish in the February 1967 24 Hours of Daytona, when they raced a 330 P4, P34, a 330 P4 and a 412P. It's a fabulous car, and it was the fastest road car of its day, capable of some 174 miles per hour. So Daytona, ladies and gentlemen, that's the second place car. And the winner in the 1970s category is something I think will get a lot of smiles, is this 1974 BMW 3-litre CSL Batmobile is presented by Eric Harima, but it's driven today by his son Alex and his partner. I've forgotten your name. Victoria, Alex and Victoria. So Eric Harima, that's the winner of the 1970s category, the 1974 BMW 3-litre CSL Batmobile. Only 57 of these final Batmobiles were produced in 1974 until 1975. And this particular car is one of the last 57. It was manufactured in 74 and originally delivered to the Bahraini royal family. After decades of storage, it was restored in the UK. It retains its original to its originally chamois white colour. It still remains all of its original panels and mechanicals. It's considered to be the precursor to BMW's M series, despite not carrying the M badge. And the Batmobile moniker came from the final version of the CSL, which had a 3.2-litre engine and large spoilers for aerodynamics. Congratulations to the Harima family, let's say. Many congratulations. Well done, Alex. Thank you. Well, ladies and gentlemen, that's the end of the initial part of the Decade Awards ceremony. However, please charge your glasses and stand by, because we are about to announce the Best of Show. The Best of Show, ladies and gentlemen, please do gather around. Are we ready to see the Best of Show? Are we ready? So, for the 2024 Concours of Elegance at Hampton Court Palace, we are absolutely delighted and honoured to present Willem Schmidt of Aerodinamica to present the winner, which is the 1937 Rolls-Royce Phantom 3 convertible coupe by J.S. Inskip, and its owners are Stephen and Kimmy Brower. Unfortunately, they're not able to drive the car today, but we have a very able driver in the form of the chairman of the steering committee, Mr. Richard Charlesworth, with his beautiful wife Zoe. So you both suit the car very well, and that's look, he knows how to drive a car slowly, doesn't he? Well done, Richard. Many congratulations to the Browers. They are long-term supporters and exhibitors at the Concours of Elegance. They've shown some absolutely spectacular motor cars. We know, thank the Concours of Elegance, they are delighted to have received this award, and we are delighted to have awarded it to them. And what we'd like to tell you about this car, what we would like to tell you is it's one of only 727 versions of the Phantom 3 build, and the Phantom 3 had a V12 engine. It has coachwork by J.S. Inskip, and this design is often called a Henley due to its resemblance to the other Phantom 3 models. It's a majestic example of the ultimate original Phantom evolution. It was first delivered in 1937 to a Colonel Joseph Samuels of Providence, Rhode Island. But just look at this coachwork, ladies and gentlemen, from J.S. Inskip. As I said, side-mounted spares, painted in black, of course, accentuating the beautiful lines. Long sweeping tail. It has, of course, access to seats in the rear by opening this rear compartment. Also an access in the side to keep your golf clubs, which is very important, especially in North America. But it's just elegance in metal, rolling sculpture. We think this is a very deserved winner, as are the owners of this motor car. Are we good? Are you happy, Richard? As chairman of the steering committee, would you like to tell us a little bit about why you think this car was chosen, even though it was chosen by the other owners?
I think it's important to stress again, as we've said before, that the difference between us and certain other concourses is that for this event, the owners vote for the car they think is the best in their class or their decade, and they vote for the best in show. So I know that Steve Brower and Camilla, his wife, last night were so pleased that their fellow entrants voted, their peers voted this car to be the best of show. They're immensely proud. They're now deeply regretting they made their travel plans to not be here today. But that's the modesty that they have. They've never expected to do so well. But they are hugely flattered that their peers, their fellow entrants, voted this car as the best in show. And I know that they will be hugely proud of it. And I think we're all delighted that such an elegant motor car will represent us in the best of the best next year when it's up against the other 7 concours.
A lovely combination of a British chassis being delivered to the US and coach built in the US and winning a concours back in the UK. So I think that's a lovely story to tell. And of course, the coachwork on these cars was often built by British coach builders like Barker, Parkwood, Molyneux, Hooper, Throp and Maberley, but in this case, it was JS Inskip. Thank you, Richard. Thank you, Zoe. Well driven. Come back and rescue me quite soon. Ladies and gentlemen, again, don't go away. We'll let the best of show just make... Richard, perhaps you should do one extra lap. Give us time to find our notes. Don't say that, don't do it. I'm told off again for improvising. So, from a motor car from the pre-war generation, coach built, a car which would be driven sedately, elegantly to something quite different. We celebrate another type of motor car here at the Concours of Elegance, which is the Future Classics. These are the cars that we've selected because we believe they are so special. Although they're modern, they are so special, they are rare, they are bespoke in many cases. Some are one-offs, some are one of very few limited editions. Many of them are virtually impossible to buy from the manufacturer. There are waiting lists for all of these motor cars. So we've created a class called the Future Classics, the cars that we think within 20, 30, 50 years will be celebrated in an ongoing fashion at Concours of Elegance around the world. So we'll start with the 3rd place motor car in the Future Classics Award, and that is this 2023 Ferrari SP8 presented by a private collection, and this is a unique one-off creation, a one-off, ladies and gentlemen, resulting from a close collaboration between a British client and Ferrari's styling centre led by Flavio Manzoni. It's based on a Ferrari F8 Spider but features extensive customizations, making it a totally unique motor car in itself. It's finished in blue sandstone, carbon fibre and argento metallizzato matte.
Sit down, just sit down. You can sit. I swear to God, that's a black cat.
And the 2nd place car, thank you and many congratulations to the 3rd place car, the Ferrari SP8 from 2023. Now we have something that we've been enjoying. We've had a sit in this car. We've had the managing director of Gordon Murray Automotive. So Gordon Murray's effort following the McLaren F1, which is the 2nd place car, this 2024 Gordon Murray Automotive T50, presented by its co-owners Stuart Dybel and Jeremy Parfit. And we feel that even before the wheels were finally bolted onto this motor car, that it was going to be a legend in the making. The T50 was engineered to prioritise the driving experience, and the T50 is designed to be the most driver-focused supercar ever built. And we're going to focus on the driver, Mr. Stuart Dybel, who's going to drive it off beautifully from the stage. Thank you. 2nd place. Many congratulations.
Have you seen him driving? They're absolutely like 70
Okay, so the winner in our future classics category is this 2023 Aston Martin DBR22, presented by Michael Dacre. A round of applause, ladies and gentlemen, for the winner in the future classics category, please. The DBR22 was developed by Aston Martin's Q personalization program, blending classic coach building techniques with advanced materials and cutting-edge technology. It has a 5.2-litre twin turbocharged V12 motor producing 705 horsepower and 555 pound-feet of torque, no less. 0 to 60 in 3.4 seconds and 198 miles per hour. Only 22 examples of the DBR22 were built, hence the name, of course. It was a very expensive motor car and extremely collectible already today. And we believe this is a future classic, and the judges have nominated this as the winner in the Future Classics category. There it is, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you, Wilhelm, for your beautiful prize giving.